Welcome to today's workshop. This is Weed Wellness 101, Healing Chronic Issues in Mind, Body, Heart, and Spirit with Cannabis, Wellness Practices, and Yoga Therapy. Okay, so today's workshop is presented by myself on behalf of Green Gods Wellness, so a cannabis yoga and wellness studio specializing in helping people heal with chronic illnesses and issues in mind, body, heart, and spirit that have tried everything from pharmaceuticals, surgery, and even tolerating living with chronic issues. So in partnership with our friends at Leaf 411 Network, and we have Mary here on behalf of the Leaf 411 Network, who will be answering questions at the end and really giving you kind of a brief overview of how Leaf 411, these are can really support you in your own journey of healing with cannabis. And these are registered nurses who also specialize in cannabis and have personal experience with the plant, with healing with the plant. So today I am going to share with you the foundation, essentially, to start your weed wellness journey healing with cannabis. I know a lot of people have questions and they find our page on social media or a YouTube video. And I wanted to create a class that can kind of give you the lay of the land and an introduction to how cannabis and healing with weed essentially can support you in many different things in your own journey, whether it's mental health issues, physical pain, emotional trauma, or spiritual disconnect. So yeah, my personal intention, this is very sacred to me. It's very personal to me. I've struggled with many chronic issues and illnesses really my whole life. But over the past 10 years, I've been able to heal chronic issues and illnesses, eating disorders, mental health issues, PTSD, bipolar, serious emotional trauma. And I had a knee surgery and I haven't had pain. I had pain after my knee surgery, but since working with cannabis, wellness practices, and yoga in the past 5 years, I have not had one complaint with my knee. So it's my personal duty to debunk the myths about healing with cannabis and share tools and resources to help those who are seeking another way to heal, feel, and be well in ways that are better than therapy and traditional methods. So I'm not saying don't go to the doctor and don't use traditional methods. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying if you have been dealing with chronic issues and you've tried everything, you've tried surgery, you've tried pharmaceuticals, you've lived and managed chronic issues and illnesses for a long time, that there is alternative ways. So who am I? My name is Antonina. I'm a mother of a 1-year-old daughter. I'm the founder of Green Gods Wellness and another wellness company as well. 8 years in business. I'm a humanitarian. I care about the well-being of humans and have spent nearly the past decade helping people dealing with mental health issues, homelessness, incarceration, to really remedy themselves in ways that took a holistic approach to heal themselves. And then also in noticing that we really need to create new community environments for the well-being of everyone involved. And so this really started to pioneer not just my initial endeavor in helping people heal and create wellness in their lives, but in this personal experience of Green Gods Wellness, where this is really about healing with cannabis. And I've spent the past 16 years, as I mentioned before, overcoming my own chronic issues and illnesses that doctors couldn't help me with, therapists couldn't help me with. You know, they can only help you to a certain degree, but it really took me taking wellness into my own hands. And I've been able to kind of, not really check off the box, but just like, wow, I don't deal with that anymore. And I don't deal with that anymore. And I don't deal with that anymore. And I see other people effectively heal with cannabis, and it's my duty to help you. So what is your number one intention? I want to know, and I really want you to kind of bring that to your awareness of what your intention for not just being here in this class, but really your intention for cannabis and your relationship with cannabis, and is it healing, and what is it, and really having that self-understanding and awareness of what your true intention, direction is, and that this could help you really create an experience with the right recipe of cannabis, if you will, wellness practices and yoga therapy to heal whatever chronic issue that you're dealing with. So, okay, we all know there's many names, many forms: cannabis, weed, ganja, which is Sanskrit for cannabis, pot, and hemp. But I want to break down 4 fear-based myths about cannabis before we really getting into healing and how to heal and really where to start in that journey, before you can really appreciate the goodness and the intention and the love that cannabis has, and really the power that's available in our own lives to really work with this plant in a sacred way. So myth number 1, this one gets me every time I hear this, that there is not enough research about cannabis. And if you're in a certain profession or you're a scientist and you see that there's not enough tangible resources, research, I understand that. But in reality, weed has been around for 6,000 years. 6,000 years. That is the same time that human civilizations began to form, concurrently at the same time that weed was started to develop. And weed has been around since before man. It originated in Japan, believe it or not, and it was made illegal in the United States in the last 100 years. Just in the last 100 years, made illegal. Why? For a corporate agenda to increase profits in specific industries like pharmaceuticals, lumber, gasoline, and more. Okay, so when you start to connect the dots of this, you can see that there was never really anything bad. But here's myth number 2: cannabis legalization is a bad thing for society. This is just asinine when you really do the research. Cannabis is here to help us rebuild our society right now. How we prioritize our health and well-being, human welfare, how we care about each other, our infrastructures and local communities and how we develop them, resolving social and economic issues, and solving issues related to our earth and our climate, like toxic and nutrient depleted soil. So most of the fruits and vegetables that we eat are lacking so much nutrients because of this. So, and actually when you can grow hemp in soil and it detoxifies the soil and rebuilds the nutrients. So myth number 3, cannabis solves everything. And then we want to bring this to the opposite polarity, that cannabis solves everything. You know, this is not, I also don't want to create smoke and mirrors for people. This is not the solution. You just smoke cannabis or take CBD oil and you're healed. Okay. Weed reveals. That's just the term I'm going with, weed wellness. It's how I've always known it. You can call it whatever you want. Weed heals, weed reveals, you heal. So your body is a self-healing mechanism. When you get a cut, a break, a burn, it naturally heals. Okay, your body's immune system determines how long really, or how quick your body heals, but it's no different here. So weed isn't healing you in every part of your body. Obviously, it's extremely effective, right? But it reveals what needs to be healed. So cannabis helps your body to function properly and do its job optimally through your endocannabinoid system, which is connected to all other systems. Okay, all other bodily systems, your lymphatic system, your nervous system, and I'm going to show you on the next slide a picture as well so you can see for yourself. So what I mean by this is, if you're not making the necessary changes in your thoughts, in your emotions, and in your actions, weed will reveal to you where you are out of alignment, you know, where you need to move your body, where you need to change your diet, where you need to stop being around negative energy or a toxic job. Weed will reveal the truth. And you have to also, in co-creation, in partnership with weed, with cannabis, make the necessary changes, which is why just cannabis alone is not going to heal you. It's actually creating the right recipe for yourself, the right environment, and really the formula, which I will share with you in a little bit, and actually how to effectively heal. So this is the body's endocannabinoid system. And Mary, if you have anything you want to say about this, Mary is here with us from Leaf 411. So she's a nurse that really specializes in all of this. And I don't want to get too much involved in this aspect, but it's really important to understand that your body has an endocannabinoid system that generates and makes and produces CBD. And you can see these little dots, the light pink and the light red. These are all CBD receptors in your brain and in your body that are all connected to your immune system, your metabolism, your central nervous system, your gastrointestinal system. So your gut, your hormones, your bones, your muscles. And so this is important when you really understand how cannabis can support you. And we're going to talk about this, the differences between CBD and THC. But this is really important to understand that cannabis is CBD specifically is generated in our body. And if our body is depleted, we want to be able to utilize a high quality CBD oil to help kind of bring our body into homeostasis. Some people don't like utilizing that word, and you can correct me, Mary, but really brings your body back into balance so your systems can function and do what they need to do. So I'm not sure. Go ahead, Mary.
And I wouldn't correct you. I would basically rephrase it a little bit of a different way. I would say our bodies are wired to use cannabinoids, including CBD, THC, and other cannabinoids within the cannabis plant. And you're absolutely right. Our bodies have cannabinoid receptor 1 and 2 all throughout our systems that interact with cannabinoids from the cannabis plant to promote homeostasis. The only other thing I would add, because I'm really enjoying your presentation, the only thing I would add is that, cannabis is very personalized medicine for each individual. And so I think that's important to understand as well. There's not one size fits all when you're using cannabis as medicine.
That's such an important point to add. And it really is a journey, and it really is experimenting with your own body and understanding the language of your body. So thank you so much, Mary, for adding that. Really important. And the last myth number 4 is that cannabis tears people and families apart. And you could talk about motherhood and pregnancy. There's so many different kind of offshoots of this, but I just want to clarify this. Weed connects and unifies people from all walks of life, all different ages, all different economic classes, all different races, religions, okay? Obviously, there are people that are against it, but it doesn't matter. You got to focus on, not everyone's for you, not everyone has the same values, but when it comes to cannabis, cannabis connects and unifies people from all walks of life. And I have found that any conversation that is rooted in the common value of cannabis, it's just that the people in the community, it's shared values, and there's layers upon that. It's not just about cannabis. Cannabis is like the tip of the iceberg. And I really feel that cannabis is the gateway to not bad things, but to the plant wellness kingdom, herbs, plant-based foods, other psychedelics for a myriad of issues that can be healed and solved and resolved. So this has been shown to me again and again that weed connects and unifies with the right intention, okay? People from all walks of life. So what is the real problem? The real problem is that so many are dealing with chronic issues and illnesses, and they are on pharmaceuticals. They have tried so many or are currently on them and not really having results or effective, or it's actually creating kind of additional problems by utilizing some of these pharmaceuticals. And some people have tried surgery. I've had surgery. I've tried pharmaceuticals for depression. I've had surgery for a torn ACL and meniscus, and I still had problems after the surgery, even worse problems. So that was an issue for me. And I was in my early 20s. So that was a problem. Like I remember thinking, like my body is breaking down and I'm like 21 years old, and it was terrifying for me. And then people just dealing with chronic issues and illnesses. I am not going to lie, I've dealt with depression for a long time, which is why I had to seek out alternative solutions, because I didn't want to chronically live with depression. I knew that I could feel better. I knew that there was a deeper reason on why I was feeling how I'm feeling or was feeling. And I was willing to go there. And that's the thing. People that are willing to kind of heal with cannabis and go beyond these solutions, these traditional methods that are effective for some people, but not for everyone, that at the end of the day, you can choose to go traditional route, or you can really take an intuitive journey of discovering your body, and layer by layer, little by little, day by day, kind of peel back what is the root of this pain or mental health or emotional trauma or spiritual disconnect, that no medication or surgery or like the ultimate reality of just tolerating chronic issues and illnesses all your life, it's not necessary. So when I think about the alternative solution of being able, for my own personal experience, let alone a few stories I'm going to share with you today, and Mary can share with you her own journey as a registered nurse as well, of choosing the plant, and how it's been effective and more effective than these other solutions that are traditionally used, if you want to call it a solution. So the people that come to us are trying to get off pharmaceuticals because they're not working and they've been heavily addicted to them. And that created an additional problem. Now they're addicted to pharmaceuticals. So now the pain, is one thing, but now they have another problem on their hands. So it's not a sustainable solution for many people. And I want to share with people that there is another way, and you don't have to deal with chronic illness your whole life. There are some obviously things that are more permanent, more severe, more again, cannabis is not the solution for everybody, but there are so many different issues and illnesses that can be resolved, that have been resolved. And that's why it's about sharing our own stories. That's the research that is needed, our own personal testimonies. Okay, so about how we can actually heal, resolve, and improve significantly with cannabis wellness practices and yoga. So let's be clear. To effectively heal with cannabis is actually quite simple. Other people will tell you otherwise, but in my 16 years of healing with cannabis, any issue and severe issue that no one else could help me with, it's always been pretty simple. It does take experimenting to find your right recipe and working with the right practitioners, skilled, trained, and experienced, can help. And that's where it was a no-brainer in partnering with the Leaf 411 and incredible women there for their free 24/7 cannabis nurse hotline. Okay, these are all registered nurses trained that have found the passion and also the need to really serve and as a network to provide people support in their journey of healing with cannabis, and be able to be a liaison for people that have questions, have real questions, and they want to be the support network. And I think it's really important to bring people together who have different backgrounds, skills, abilities to really help communities of people heal from different chronic issues. So at the end of this presentation, Mary will share with us a little bit more about how Leaf 411 works and how you can utilize their service if it aligns with you.
And can I just add one thing,
Sure,
Antonia?
sure.
Thank you. It's not a 24/7 hotline. Hopefully with increased funding, increased support from member partners like yourself, dispensaries, and even individual contributions to help this nonprofit grow. Someday, the goal is to be a 24/7 hotline. Right now, the hours are more limited, though. I will just say,
can you clarify what the hours
yeah,
are then?
the hours are, I just had it written down so I could tell you, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and that is Mountain Standard Time.
Okay. And then I think on Instagram, it is on weekends by special request, or is that?
By appointment only.
Okay. So
Yeah.
I stand corrected. I remember seeing that free 24/7, and that was,
And you may have, but and I
yeah.
apologize, but
Okay.
the hours are 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Now, if you do call the hotline and a nurse is not available to answer, you can leave a message and with your telephone number, and you will get a call back.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
And I believe there's also a chat feature on the website now as well. So I would say for your viewers, and I'm sorry to interrupt your presentation, that visiting lee411.org is a good starting point to explore their website.
Yes, definitely. And just regardless of the time, you can still reach out. So, and get the support that you need. And obviously we are here as well. So we're creating a community of people to help individuals and groups deal and heal with chronic issues and illnesses in a more, just an alternative way. It's another option, another solution that may work very effectively for many. Okay, so thank you, Mary. So our whole motto and principle here at Green Gods Wellness is that wellness is in your hands with the power of plants. So while these resources exist, it really is about you prioritizing your well-being, your healing, and taking self-responsibility. Traditionally, we go to a doctor, we say, what's wrong with me? Give me medicine, tell me what to do. That's not how this works. And it requires an incredible level of self-trust and self-discipline to be able to heal yourself and to create the conditions for yourself to heal. And I'll say that again, to create the conditions in your mind, in your body, in your heart, obviously the conditions in your environment so that you can heal, supported with cannabis, wellness practices, and yoga. This takes full self-awareness to heal. So I'm not saying that to intimidate anyone in healing. It just requires you to trust yourself and for you to take ownership and to listen and to sit in practice daily or for 10, 20 minutes. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need to be hours. And it depends on the level of issues you're dealing with. Sometimes you have to spend a few hours of healing until you're in a good state of mind, body, heart, and spirit. But really understanding that this is a journey and it's a daily practice and a meeting of yourself in a way of discovery. Like, how is my body communicating with me through this depression or through this chronic pain or through this continuous emotional trauma, over and over and over again, the same feelings, the same experiences. Well, what's the common denominator? Excuse me, ourselves. So really understanding that requires immense ownership to heal yourself with cannabis. So let me ask you, what is your chronic issue that you struggle with, or something you have been dealing with mentally, physically, emotionally, or spiritually that you want to heal with cannabis? And really think about that, because your awareness is going to set you up in alignment for actually moving into the direction of healing, regardless, and trusting the journey of continuously saying, yes, I want to heal. Yes, this is how I want to do it. And then coming to like an experience or being called to a class like this, and then the next step and the next step. It's such a journey. It's an interwoven journey of healing. And it could be quick, it could be slow, however fast you want to go, honestly. But it's trusting the pace of your body, trusting the pace of your mind, and trusting your life. I really believe that cannabis is such a tool to just for radical self-acceptance where you're at, no matter if you're dealing with a slew of chronic issues and illnesses, or if you're healthy and well and functioning. It could be very helpful and instrumental in our own well-being, regardless of where we're at. So you don't need much. All you need is yourself, cannabis of choice, wellness practice of choice, quiet space, indoor and outdoor. Right here, what you see on the screen is how I've healed numerous issues in my life. I've overcome serious mental breakdown to the point where I couldn't even run my business, was broke and homeless. And this was actually a time when I was, in fact, on the streets, believe it or not. This is a rose garden in LA. And I say that to you in all humility. I'm in my home today, that I, no matter the severity of your issues, whether people understand it or don't understand it, that you can pull yourself out of anything. It takes immense willpower, immense belief, but you can do it. You can do it. And with the right support, with the right resources, the right classes, you can heal. So I just want to show you that. And that was a really powerful time for me as I was starting to build this business in such a chaotic time. But if you don't start now, I mean, you wouldn't have anything to show for it moving forward. So I had a session yesterday where, and the awareness is really powerful. And when you come to the revelation of like, I choose to not do something because I don't see the results instantly, then think about the process of self-healing takes time, and kind of chipping away at it little by little till you find yourself, wow, I feel relieved from that, or I don't have that same chronic issue anymore, or that same problem, because I've been working at it. It takes time. So it's really important to honor that. It can help with so many things. And let's just go into the solution, which I like to call the Trinity solution for chronic issues. This is just what came to me. It's 3 things. The Trinity solution for chronic issues. It's not complicated. Cannabis, wellness practices, and yoga can change how you feel in your mind, your body, your heart, and your spirit. Okay. I'm telling you, you will see me in nature with cannabis daily, because that is the thing that helps me function the best. It's not going to a doctor. It's not medication. It's not surgery. It's right there. That cannabis, wellness practices, yoga have helped me heal eating disorders, chronic knee pain, serious depression. I can tell you till I'm blue in the face right there. That's how I did it. You want to hear more stories, you can go to our website and you'll hear different stories. That's my fault for not putting the names of the people on here, but this is Nikki Lawley. She is a member of our community. She has had a serious brain injury and now advocates for people dealing with brain injuries to heal with cannabis. Okay, so taking something so traumatic like a brain injury, and obviously there were so many pieces to her story, but really understanding what it took for her to, one, heal herself. She had to move. She was in a state that was not legal. And she knew, like, if I don't go somewhere else, I'm not going to get exactly what I need. So sometimes it takes sacrifice. Sometimes, other times we can provide you legal products wherever you are, maybe not THC, but CBD. So, but other times, knowing what you need and discovering what you need and taking a proactive approach in your own journey can really lead you on the journey to discover, like, maybe this place where I'm at is not conducive or supportive for my needs. And so this woman had dealt with a traumatic brain injury and made the necessary changes in her life so that she can receive the medicine legally, so that she can be in an environment that supports her in her healing. And she now is a huge advocate and activist to help people learn about cannabis for healing traumatic brain injuries. So her story you can find on our blog at greengodswellness.com/blog. Next is Kelly, who is an ordained cannabis minister. She's actually based in Canada. She owns Kelly's Green Lounge. So she really created an environment and a community and a network for people in Canada and online to really connect in a very social way to heal with cannabis. And if you read her story, it was just a continuous kind of seeking journey and just like constantly being like a fish out of water, which I can relate to. And then finding the one thing that kept coming back was the cannabis. And she just kind of went for it. And, she's an ordained cannabis minister now and really helps people in cultivating the community so that they have a network of people. And so I love that. And she's really fun and does a lot of social things online. But this is not about healing yourself and then having to help others. This is just, it's a calling. It's like, once you realize how effective the plant is and how it helps you, you're very inclined to share. And these people, this is just the testimonies. Okay. So another story, this is Mike. This is someone, he started High NY in New York City. I actually met Mike at a TED talk that he did in New York City. Actually, excuse me, Brooklyn. Let me clarify. In Brooklyn in 2015. Okay, we're in 2021. He's been ahead of the curve in terms of this latest cannabis industry, if you will. For me, I just think about cannabis being around for 6,000 years, and for us to call it an industry is kind of just unconscious. So, but needless to say, this is an industry. And so with all due respect, he is someone I actually admire in the journey who's just went for it and had the high level conversations, the vulnerable conversations from a place of love and passion and understanding of how this plant can help people. And he went on to create a huge organization in New York of people that are passionate about cannabis in all different forms. And he is a big influencer in the New York cannabis space and community there. But I really was just, he opened my mind in 2015 that like I was the closet cannabis consumer. And he was the first person to be like, no, this is okay. And not only is it okay, is like, we need to talk about this on a large level and a big level. And he was doing a TED talk for it. I was just inspired. I was moved. So you can see his personal story on our website, which is cool. Like he just, I mean, it's funny actually, but what he went to do with his just belief in cannabis is just inspiring. So that's Mike. You can read that on our blog at greengodswellness.com. Okay, so the Trinity solution obviously is cannabis. Number one of it all, cannabis. Okay, let's talk about it. To heal, you do not need mass cannabis products, sodas, drinks, candy, food. It literally drives me nuts watching this happen. I have been working with cannabis for 16 years, and I'm telling you, a good herb or high quality CBD oil, obviously you want to know indica, sativa, and it doesn't matter. Really, it's about understanding your own, what your body needs. So you might have to experiment a little bit, but you do not need mass cannabis products, sodas, drinks, and candy and food, and you will probably not heal chronic illness and issues with these products, okay? I can guarantee it. You do not need a million gizmos and gadgets. As I said, 16 years, a good quality joint paper, a good quality weed, and a lighter or a bowl, and you're good. And you may not even need that if you're just using CBD oil, okay? So the gizmos and the gadgets, they're fun, but not necessary, okay? You don't need them to heal. And lastly, you definitely do not need to know the genetic makeup of cannabis. I did a very funny reel if you follow us on Instagram at Green Gods Wellness. And it really made me just laugh. Where is it? Let me find it. I'll just tell you about it though. And it's like, people don't need to know what's in there. They don't ask what's in their food, all the stuff that they eat. They don't ask what's in their skincare, but then they ask what's in in cannabis, like the genetic makeup. They want to know every different composition of cannabis. And I think it's hilarious. Cannabis has been around for 6,000 years. And think about the food that's been created and the medicine and the I don't even want to talk about anything else. I'm not going to even go any further than that. I'm just going to keep it very neutral and just say, you do not need to know the genetic makeup of cannabis. You can really benefit from being able to discern between THC, the psychoactive properties, and CBD, which is really just the medicinal benefits without no THC, no psychoactive properties. And I consider it to be like a vitamin. It's a supplement that you can really, feel the benefits the longer that you use, just like a vitamin. You wouldn't take it a day and expect the vitamin to really work with your body. You have to take it over time. But it also can help instantly if you have a really high quality CBD oil. So let's continue. The truth is 80% of people would benefit, as I'm saying, from a high quality pure CBD oil. This is legal in every state and around the world, okay? Obviously, there's probably some contingencies, but I'm telling you, this is legal and we could ship around the world, okay? 80% of people do not need THC. They don't need to get high. They could benefit from a high quality CBD oil that is legal. So when people say, I don't have access to the medicine, it's just people that need to be educated and connected to the resources to understand that You don't need to have THC to get the benefits of this plant, okay? While the laws are the way that they are, okay, wherever you live. And the fact that 20% of people would benefit, 20% of people approximately would benefit from a THC strain for chronic issues. That's severe depression, that could be chronic pain, trauma, and then you have to discern, you have to know yourself. But if you're just starting, you definitely want to start out with a high quality CBD oil. And then as you're called, maybe you would reach out to the Leaf 411 network, or you reach out to us, and then kind of, it is a personal self-experiment, and you definitely want to be supported if you're new, or be around people that have worked with the plant, okay? It's just about choosing your method. Okay, mine is always going to be old school joint. I used to smoke blunts. That's not the best for healing, because you're wrapping it in a tobacco leaf versus a hemp, right? This is a hemp rolling paper from Zigzags that we sell in our weed wellness kits that are the best. This is good for your lungs, better. Weed is a bronchial stimulant. It actually helps clear out your lungs. This is a vape pen. So these are helpful and convenient. I do want to note that you want to be mindful of these and what's in them. If you can find a brand that has really pure, there's going to be something mixed with this, and it's broken down and it's heated and it smokes. It's like a wax pen, but there's stuff mixed in it, and it's obviously not pure, just like if you were smoking it broken up like a plant. But this can be convenient for people on the go or traveling or whatever. Again, obviously you want to keep the laws in mind. But this is also another way, another form that people also like. There's edibles, tinctures, different things, but you have to discover what works for you. And again, you got to know what's your issue, and then do you want to go THC, CBD? And actually you can smoke CBD weed as well, which is cool, but not everyone wants to smoke weed. So the CBD oil is really awesome. And then the topicals are really powerful for if you have a located pain where it's not all in your brain or body, that maybe you have maybe it's a wrist injury or a shoulder. You can use a topical ointment or cream that you want it really plant-based. You don't want a CBD topical with a bunch of toxins in it. It just defeats the purpose. So we create a skin stress relief topical that includes CBD oil with straight plants, shea butter, tamanu oil, tea tree oil, to really help reduce the inflammation. And it's really effective. So you can kind of give yourself a little self-massage there. But anyway, we'll talk about wellness practices after. So it's about choosing your own method. And then the other important thing to know is local sourcing is everything. Okay, where you buy is more important than what you buy. It's always quality over quantity, and make sure it's grown locally. It's okay if you're ordering from us and we're actually sourcing our CBD oil right here in Colorado, and they source their products locally. So it matters. You, like, for example, shortly you'll be able to go on Amazon and buy cannabis products, but you don't know where it's coming from unless you did your research. You don't know what's in it unless, again, you're doing your research. And so if you can get it locally and understand where the path of the plant came from and the quality, is it quality products? Most CBD oil, you're getting 5 to 10% of the benefits, which is the oil mixed with something else. Ours, you're getting 98% bioavailability, 98% of the medicine that's available for your body to break down. This is pure CBD oil, 98%. Okay, most other CBD oils are 5 to 10%. You want to know where you're getting your product from, and that matters. We don't ask the questions with all of our food, vegetables. I mean, obviously, you're trusting your suppliers and where you shop to provide you good quality stuff. But when you go to some of these grocery stores, you see China from garlic from China. I just don't. That makes no sense. But this is just, it applies to cannabis. Is you got to know where your product is coming from. We want to support our local growers, our local cannabis businesses, and our local communities, because if we do the same thing and go to Amazon for all of our weed, we are basically recreating the hell that we have created. And so we really want to trust our local communities, our local growers, our suppliers to really recreate new systems and structures and provide you high quality cannabis. Because if you're working with diluted cannabis, you're not going to heal. It's a waste of your time, your money. And so many of our clients say, I never felt my CBD. It didn't work for me. And I'm like, you have to try this. Like that would have been a watered down or diluted cannabis. It's not going to do anything for people dealing with chronic issues. You need high quality. So if you're interested, we sell high quality CBD oil by Quicksilver Scientific. Okay. So the next part is wellness practices. This doesn't matter your race, your religion, your color. Wellness practices are something that can become a part of your everyday life. Cannabis and going to eat a bunch of pizza, burgers, food, or cannabis and going to watch a movie, there's a time and a place. But if you want to actually heal effectively, you want to use and optimize your cannabis and then pair it with a wellness practice. This could be yoga. This could be meditation. This could be breath work. This could be walking in nature. This could be going to the beach. This could be art therapy. This could be journaling. This could be bike riding. Whatever it is for you, something that allows you to, and again, you choose your wellness practice that supports the issue or area that you want to heal and start to kind of move through. So if I'm dealing with mental health, it depends on what. Maybe I'm doing some tapping. Maybe I'm doing some breath work. Maybe I'm doing my Kundalini, or maybe I can't do any of that and I just need to get outside, which nature is a cure-all in itself. But mixing and utilizing your cannabis consciously, supported with a practice. It's not like you just go get high and then just kind of check out. It's actually doing it more consciously and tuning in to some sort of wellness practice that can then consciously kind of uncover what is going on deeper within your mind, your body, your heart, and spirit. So this is a deliberate action of consciously healing, better than therapy with cannabis, wellness practices, and yoga. So choose your wellness practice. This girl is laying here on the step, meditating, smoking, breathing. This guy, you can make your own inference, but he looks like he just got done work or something and he's smoking a bowl to wind down. This woman is drinking some CBD tea, relaxing on a picnic bench. These people are going for a hike, and you get to choose your thing. The last aspect, okay, so it can be fun. You want it to be fun for you. You want it to bring you into the state of healing and wellness. That's the point. Not to go and do something stressful or have a stressful conversation, unless it's a necessary conversation. Then by all means, you want to deal with it. That will help you. And the last part of this Trinity kind of solution is yoga therapy. Okay, we have to get into our body. We really do, because we have cells and we have thoughts and feelings and fascia, connective tissue on our underneath our muscles that holds the energy and feelings and thoughts. And then we have this nervous system that's kind of programmed, and our body and our bones and everything is just kind of conforming to this. And again, I don't want to get scientific. I just want to sometimes use some things to pull you into awareness that we need to move our body differently. If it's like programmed to move a certain way or think certain thoughts or do certain things, and if you have a chronic issue or illness, then there's behind that chronic thoughts, chronic feelings, and chronic action. So we really want to utilize the practice to get into our body. You saw with the wellness practices before, you didn't really need to focus solely on your body. You could focus on the environment supported by cannabis. You could focus on the art or the journaling, but yoga is specifically to help you tune in and get into your body. You want to move out the kinks, move through how it feels to hold on to the depression, move through the tightness in your body or the inflexibility or the cramps or whatever pain that you're holding on to. It's really understanding the language of your body, supported with yoga therapy. And you can choose any type of yoga, but what we teach at Green God's Wellness and at our yoga studio online is we really specialize in yin yoga, which is like a no efforting yoga style. And you take time to get into the postures and hold them for longer periods of time. So extremely effective for elderly, but it was life-changing for me, dealing with serious depression. And I literally would go to class. This was like in 2016 and 15. And I would work with my cannabis before I went to class, because obviously it wasn't a weed wellness class or cannabis yoga class. And I would go to my vinyasa class or my yin class in particular during this time, and I would just cry. Like, it was such a, if I didn't go to class and if I didn't work with the cannabis to like be with my emotions, and if I wasn't moving the emotions out of my body and I would just sit there like this, it wouldn't have done anything. It's because I had to stretch it out and move, and the tears would flow, and I just allowed the process. It's not always like this. It could be, maybe you're accessing joy, you're accessing love, you're accessing good feelings. But if you're trying to deal and heal with emotional trauma, it's very, going to a therapy session can only do so much every week, to be honest. This is something you can do all the time, anytime, on your own time, wherever you are. And you can nurture yourself and nourish yourself and heal yourself. And you don't need to know everything. Like, you just find a couple postures that really, based off where you're holding in your body, and you work with the cannabis of choice. You see this woman has a CBD topical or a roll on, and me in the middle in one of my classes that when I started teaching in the beginning, you can find on our cannabis, on our YouTube channel, actually. We teach free classes on Sundays, but you can see, like, I just have my bowl and my CBD oil, and that's it. I just set the space for myself and I just do my thing. And obviously I don't carry around that severe emotional angst anymore, because I work through it, and I will continue. There's still always layers. I still have issues. I'm not perfect, but I don't have the same issues, and I don't have the severe dysfunction as I did before, whether it was physical pain, emotional trauma, or mental health issues, or just feeling so disconnected to my spirit. I have that union with myself thanks to what yoga is, and what it means is union with yourself. So then this is, whether it's yoga or physical therapy, you can be guided in this. You don't have to do this by yourself, but you can also do it by yourself. So it's whatever you prefer. But everything you need to heal with cannabis all in one place is right here for you at Green Gods Wellness. So we offer cannabis healing ceremonies. We're starting our in-person ceremonies again, starting in November. We sell weed wellness kits with a topical, the most high quality CBD oil, and then the hemp zigzag papers. Maybe some of you can find them, maybe not. And then your jar and lighter. Now this is going to evolve, but you can also buy the CBD oil on its own if you don't need the rest of the products or the kit. And then our focus is cannabis yoga classes. And we also teach a program called Better Than Therapy, which is really a one-on-one, and we're making it into a course for people who want to really focus on healing their mind, body, heart, and spirit with cannabis. Okay. So we're here for you if you need anything. And remember, heal yourself first and then heal others. I see too many people trying to indoctrinate themselves in the cannabis industry, or just, all of a sudden they want to help people heal. Cannabis chooses you, whether it's to heal you or to lead. But cannabis is a very high conscious plant, and it will tell you, yes, move forward, or no, don't. It's very wise. It's very smart. But the one thing I've learned in healing is you got to heal yourself first. You can't, it's like you can't lead anyone you haven't gone before. But there's such a testimony in healing yourself first, because it's like, I know the impact and effects of this because I've healed numerous issues that no one else could help me heal. So I really, it's my duty and my mission to share the tools and the intro to weed wellness. So thank you for being here today. If you have any questions, please let us know. We'll be connecting with Mary right now at Leaf 411 for her to really share like kind of how you can utilize their services and how they can help you. So thanks for being here. If you have any questions for me personally, or for about our services or about cannabis in general, you can share them right in the forum, and otherwise direct message us or email us. So thank you for being here, and I hope this helped. And we'd love to see you in class moving forward. So thank you. All righty. Hi, Mary.
Hi. And I apologize in advance. I think I have my sister-in-law's dog and she's going to start barking right now because my husband just got home
Okay,
from work.
no
So I
problem.
apologize.
No
We might
problem.
hear Luca barking in the background.
Hi, Luca.
Um, so I love your passion for healing and wellness, Antonina.
Thank you.
That was a nice presentation, and I enjoyed learning more about your what you're trying to build.
Yeah.
So let me just say a couple things about Leaf 411. I'm actually new to Leaf 411 just within the last few months. I have started to work with them as a membership development coordinator. So my role is really just to help Leaf 411 grow and to get more people exposed to the idea of being able to call a nurse hotline and get questions answered by a registered nurse with cannabis training. And that the question could be anything. It could be, where do I start with CBD? I have chronic pain. How, I can't sleep. Would THC help? The nurses are trained to learn a little bit about the callers. I mean, it's not going to be a 1 hour in-depth session. It's an initial phone call for getting initial questions answered. But obviously, if you wanted to continue to work with Leaf 411 nurses, we could do something individually for those folks as well. But really, what Leaf 411 is, it's a nonprofit organization, and it's our mission. Basically, the mission statement, I'll read it, is to provide education and directional support to the general public about how to safely use legal cannabis, marijuana or hemp. Hemp meaning, and we don't have to get into the weeds on that, but basically some CBD products are derived from the hemp plant, and then products with higher THC amounts greater than 0.3% come from the cannabis plant, or what many refer to as marijuana. So our team of cannabis nurses, they're passionate about helping communities access balanced education with safe access. So really, in a nutshell, that's the bulk of what Leaf 411 does. It's created a hotline for people to call into. If you go to leaf411.org, you can find the hotline phone number, the hours of operation currently, and again, these things may change as we continue to grow. But right now, the hotline is available from 10 a.m. to 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Mountain Time. And you have the ability to leave a message. So if there isn't an available nurse to take your call at the time that you phone in, you can leave a message and the nurse will call you back. So really, any question goes. You could be a brand new user to cannabis and you don't even know where to begin. Or you could have been using cannabis for a while and maybe it's not working for you the way it used to, or you have questions about new cannabinoids. What is CBDA? What is, THC, V? There are all kinds of research ongoing, more information coming out every day. Leaf 411 prides themselves on having research-based information that they provide to their callers. So I'm going to pause there and see if I've kind of reviewed Leaf 411 to the satisfaction of your customers, if you will, Antonina. Is there anything else you want to
Yes.
know about them?
No, I think it's really important to understand that it's a community. We're creating a community of people to help you heal yourself with cannabis. Okay, it's a different approach than going to traditional doctor and then asking them all the questions. It's like you definitely are going to have questions, and in terms of like really high level questions, like if you're taking medication and then you're curious about if there's going to mix with, if there's going to be any impacts or side effects of your medicine with the cannabis, those are the questions that you want to bring to the nurses. Think about those types of questions. If it's just about your own journey, then spare the question, and that's what we're here for, So I really think about like when we start, as you join the studio and we meet to really understand where you're at, if you have questions that are regarding strains, if you like, and your issue, or again, like I said, any mixing of the side effects with maybe pharmaceuticals, those types of questions that you feel like you want to ask a nurse, then utilize that. Like maybe kind of think about that before you're on the call. Otherwise, it's not a line that you're going to call every day and ask your questions. Like, it's like, think about what is your plan for healing with cannabis, and to actually move forward in that, what questions do you have?
Mhm.
And that's when you want to reach out to their nurse network. But what we do here at the studio, online and in person, it's really about a self-guided journey. And we really hold the space with high level products and high quality products, and really a great environment and proper tools and wellness practices and the right energy to be able to support you in kind of moving through whatever issues that you're dealing with. And then we partner with scientists in terms of supplying the CBD oil, and then the nurses to ask questions that maybe we cannot answer for you,
Mhm.
and that we want more of a professional and kind of registered nurse opinion in that, with what you're dealing with, what you're doing. So you don't always need to go to someone and ask someone else about your situation. But when you feel like, especially if you're new, or like Mary said, if you've been using cannabis for a long time, it's not working for you anymore, then we got to kind of dig a little bit and see what's going on, so that you can ultimately really reap the benefits and heal effectively with cannabis. So we're here to be a liaison for you to effectively heal. And that's it. It's not like I can help you heal everything. And it's not like Mary can help you and her team. It's really like trusting yourself and then asking the questions where it's needed, so that you can self-discover and heal yourself with cannabis, wellness practices of your choice, and different modalities of yoga over the long term. So
Mhm.
it's really trusting your body's natural intelligence to self-heal. And then obviously you'll have some questions, but it's really doing the inner work and discovering and answering your own questions. But then where needed, we have Leaf 411, and then our studio exists to support people in healing with cannabis. So we're happy to get on a session with you. We do provide one-on-one support. So we have a program, a 4-week Better Than Therapy one-on-one program. So if you want to be supported in sessions over a month period of time, or to really kind of start your journey, or you just ready to go right into kind of just doing classes on your own, that's what we're here for. So yeah. So, and then so we will be doing ceremonies in person here in Denver, here in Colorado, and then kind of some other places in the US. So yeah, that's it. So if you have more questions, either for myself or Leaf 411, you could just contact Leaf 411 directly at their website, leaf411.org, and then on our website at greengodswellness.com. So thank you, and have a wonderful day.